Okay, this is what I wanted to get to, why I kind of rushed through that first part. Implementing PLR, this is how we're going to save time and make more money in your business. And we're going to break it into 2 sections here. So I've got some basic examples that I want to go through a little bit quickly. And then I've got some advanced examples that I'll spend a little bit more time on. You can see there are quite a few here. So don't need to write any of this stuff down. I'm going to go through each and every one of these on the subsequent slides. But I just wanted to kind of set the stage here for what we're doing next. So the first basic PLR implementation idea is for ongoing blog content. Anybody that is publishing online, if you're list building, if you have, let's say you have a course you want to sell or a membership site that you want to load people into to build recurring revenue. Having a blog that you can publish content to on a regular basis is kind of a no-brainer. It's an easy way to get indexed in Google. It's an easy way to get people warmed up to the type of stuff that you're an expert in. But it can be kind of a pain in the butt to write blog posts all the time. So with PLR, here's a great example. So this is a package on negotiation skills from Tools for Motivation. On the left, it shows an article. So you could buy this package from us. It would have, I think this one had 10 articles in it about negotiation. And you could take that text-based article. It was in Word doc format. You can go over to your WordPress blog and literally just copy and paste the title into the title, and then the text of the article into the body of your blog post. You could publish it as is. Maybe you'll want to rejig the title a bit, knowing that there are probably other people who bought this package. So rejig the title so it looks a little bit different. Maybe add a little intro and outro, or add some of your own anecdotes into this blog post itself. It wouldn't take you more than a couple of minutes if this is a topic that you're already comfortable with. But that alone, just this one little example of grabbing an article that's already been written by a PLR provider and giving you your blog posts for the week saves you a bunch of time and can still be unique if you take that few extra minutes to tweak and customize this. This is a very simple example, nothing you probably haven't seen before. If you haven't, then great, you've got a new idea. This is taking it a step further. So in my example, I said we had 10 different articles about negotiation, I think that one was. So you could take 3 of them, let's say, and for the next 3 weeks or 3 days, whatever it may be, you can do the exact same process I did on the previous slide, but use WordPress or whatever blogging platform you're on will have this functionality, and you can copy and paste those blog posts, those articles into scheduled blog posts. So you can kind of drip them out over the course of the next 3 days in this example. Maybe you take us up on one of our bundle deals. Every once in a while, we'll sell a whole collection of articles, like a 50 pack, and you could have 50. So like, let's say you did one a week. That's almost a year's worth of blog content scheduled and done for you to drip out to your blog. And how hard would that be to delegate to a VA, right? You just show them that the steps in the previous slide and say, go ahead and do that 50 times. Of course, if you're a little bit more techie, there's even ways to do this more automated where you could import this content as well. The idea here being, give yourself ongoing blog content, keep people coming back to your blog and give them lots of cool information so that they're interested to learn from you, and do so in a way that saves you a lot of time and really you don't have to waste time trying to write blog posts all the time. You can just add to these or even just leave them as is, and you've got good content there. Next one is another basic PLR implementation, but just creating ebooks or reports to sell or give away as lead magnets. This is kind of another traditional way of doing it because a lot of PLR packages just come with that. Well, like that foundation product I showed you at the beginning, it comes with a 6,400 word ebook that you could sell or give away. And then you could create an upsell or a bundle audio with it if applicable. So a lot of our packages actually include that stuff as well. We include reports that are pre-written for you, like ebooks, but then we also have a team of voiceover specialists who will narrate that entire ebook into an audiobook. So in our market, self-help, personal development, audio is huge. It's one of probably the biggest markets for audiobooks. If you do some market research, you'll see it's giant. And I buy a lot of this stuff on Kindle. Very often you'll get an upsell or an option to add the audiobook for a small little upsell. And I'll often take it just because I like to have, as somebody who listens to a lot of self-help stuff or consumes a lot of self-help stuff, I like to do it on the road, taking my son to gymnastics or whatever. I can have that stuff available as well. So to me, that's it just gives you a lot of just options to do it with. Sorry, I just wanted to go back here for 1 second. So if you think about the traditional kind of example of somebody that wants to make money online or sell something online, if you have a coaching business already and you're selling your coaching services, why not add a bunch of downloadable products that can just expand your reach? You could maybe pre-sell or pre-qualify better coaching clients by having them first go through some of your downloadable stuff, right? If you don't have that yet, if all you offer is coaching services, it's going to take you quite a while to create a couple of ebooks or ebook audiobook bundles for people to download from you, whether you sell it or give it away, right? If you use PLR, a lot of that work's done for you. All you would have to do is open up that ebook, maybe add some of your logos or branding into it, maybe a picture of yourself if you do a lot of personal branding as a coach. And now you've got this digital content that's kind of extending you as a coach, either pre-selling people or maybe you give it to people as follow-up content after you take your coaching. That's a huge competitive edge over other coaches not doing the same thing. And if you're using PLR, you're going to save all kinds of time because now you're not going to spend days or weeks trying to create that material. It's done for you. You just add a little bit of your own flair to it and publish it. Taking that a step further, if you want to create your own e-commerce store, this is becoming bigger for people that want to sell. The big thing in the self-help world I'm seeing more and more now is like audio libraries. People like me that love self-help content, like almost exclusively buy audio nowadays. So imagine taking a whole bunch of your favorite topics. Like here's just an example, a bunch of stuff on our screen: facing fear, how to stop worrying, embracing the best moments of life, daring, becoming more daring, and so on. You could have a whole store of different personal development products that people could go and load into a shopping cart, download and buy from you, and you're making money kind of passively. You're literally creating opportunities for yourself to generate revenue, and you could have all kinds of options for people to go shopping on your website with, again, very little of the groundwork that you do. Let's say if you were starting from scratch, you open up a blank Word doc and you try to create all these products, that's a giant mountain to climb. Start with 7 or 8 or 10 PLR products and do a little bit of editing and tweaking, make it look like it comes from your brand. Now we're talking. We've got something that we can get up and running very, very quickly. So on the resource page, I'll have a little explanation of how to actually build an e-commerce site. And I'm going to show you it using the example that we use on Tools for Motivation. It's a platform called WooCommerce, which is a free plugin for WordPress. So you can actually build your own e-commerce shopping cart, have some products up and running, and spend nothing on the software. It's pretty cool. Okay, I just had a drink of water and I'm ready to go. Next one is modules within a larger training course or seminar. So I get people that come to our help desk and they'll look at something like that foundation package I gave you a demo at the beginning, and they'll say, hey, this looks great. I see that you've pre-written a 6,400 word ebook for me. That's awesome. How much do I charge for that ebook if I want to sell it on my website? And they think that's the only way of doing it. I think it's okay. That's a good question, but is that the only way you can use this? Well, maybe, but maybe you want to charge more. Maybe you actually have a whole bunch of content that you want to share with your audience and you want to package it up in the form of a course. If you sell a 6,400 word ebook, that's pretty short, right? People go to Kindle and buy giant books written by experts for, $9.99 or $12.99 or whatever. So to buy a digital download for a 6,400 word book, you're probably not looking at being able to charge all that much money. You could, but it's probably going to have to be priced on the fairly low end of the scale, which is great. It could be a good starter pack for people that have first learned your name or they're just learning your business and what you do. However, it doesn't end there. If you wanted to take that 6,400 word book and make it part of a larger initiative, so that foundation course talked about 10 success skills for life. Maybe you're building a giant personal development course that's going to walk through all kinds of aspects of personal transformation. You're going to start with, core success life skills. Then you're going to move into developing positive habits. Then you're going to move into relationship skills and communication. It could be a 10-week course. Well, now that 6,400 word ebook just becomes one little piece of a much larger course that maybe you're charging, $497 for, or even more if you're offering personal assistance in that course. So here's an example of something I did. A number of years ago, once I had been selling private label rights products for a while, and I got pretty good at the whole process of taking an idea, building it into a digital package, selling it online, and generating revenue for my company, I thought, hey, I've got a lot of knowledge here. I can share it. I created this course called Prod Create, and I taught people how to do it. Take an idea, turn it into a digital product, put it up for sale on a website, make money. That's essentially what we did. Now, what goes into that is a lot of stuff. And in order to teach people how to do all the different steps to pull that off, I had to pull a whole bunch of different resources together. Some of them were not best taught by me. So for example, I don't consider myself a very good copywriter. If you were to look at my sales pages and you're a copywriter, you'd probably say, this could use some work. I can write enough to get by and to get people excited enough to buy my products, but I could certainly probably do a better job of it as well. And there are people way more equipped for the job. So when I was teaching my students who are learning product creation how to write sales copy, I didn't want to rely on my own expertise because it just didn't feel qualified. But I didn't want them to not buy my course either. So I went and I bought PLR rights to a course created by an expert copywriter. And he had a 13-step system that taught people how to explain the value of whatever product they're selling and write it into a sales letter with a headline, a subheadline, benefits, whatever. And it taught people to fill in this template. And at the end, you have a great sales letter. So for me, that was a perfect example of using PLR to sell a premium course. I needed a module teaching people sales copy. I didn't want to write it from scratch. I didn't feel qualified to write it from scratch. I put it in my course. And I even told my students, hey, I didn't write this section of the course. I licensed this from an expert copywriter. So I actually went out and told them that this was PLR, and it didn't matter because they got value from that 13-step process. All they cared was they got the information.